Alors attends, il faut que j'ai plus le... Stéphanie, est-ce que tu peux juste me dire si l'écran fonctionne? Je suis en lecture seule.
Non, c'est bon. Attends, excuse-moi.
Il faut que je l'éteigne. Ah ouais, non.
Are you all back? Yes, I think everybody is back. So we're going to talk about what you discussed, and maybe the first group number 1, can share with us what you think the weaknesses of the PhD are regarding the private sector. So, did you find some first? Maybe no.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
I brought a few things during our conversation, so I can probably make a quick sum up of it.
Okay. Thank you, Eduardo.
Oh, you're welcome. Basically, we discussed about 5 points. The first one is that usually people that came from a PhD does not have like direct experience in the private sector. It's working in a company for working in a company, basically. That could be a weakness. Another one may be that we are usually during a PhD, we do not experience, people do not experience the being in a marketing environment things. I mean, having to deal with contingency related to the market, which is something that we do not experience usually that much in academia. Finally, there may be a lack of a diversified or structured team in the experience of a PhD students, meaning that usually we work with colleagues, we work with other students, we can say, or teacher, basically, professors. But for example, we do not deal lots with other parts of that may compose a team in a working environment, like administration, things like that are usually quite distant from us.
Okay.
Then last point, work could be different. I mean, the work we perform for the PhD will probably be somehow different in the real world environment. Last things, that deal with documentation, that usually we have to be aware that there is a goal of a company that we have to pursue also while we're writing, and it's not documentation for just improving the state of the art technologies or things like that. It's not just for the scientific purpose. Okay. I think that's all. If the other want to add something, if I miss something, basically.
Something else you want to say? The other one? Okay, thank you, Eduardo. So we're going to see what the second group thought. What are your strengths? Who wants to share?
I can share if you like. Yeah, I was taking some notes.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Kanyanta, yes.
Okay, thank you.
So in terms of strengths, we talked about having advanced knowledge of the subject matter. So a PhD person may be an expert on the team in that particular area of study. A PhD may have the strength of adding rigor to the work that is being done because of the experience that they have had through the research period. So paying attention to detail. And that also includes critical thinking that can be added to projects and processes as they work. They're used to working in a stressful environment, depending on the type of project that you had. So juggling a number of things and working under time pressures and deadlines. So that's an added advantage. Good communication, both written and public speaking skills and presentation skills. Again, because of the regular communication updates that we need to do in our programs, a PhD person would have those skills, which not everybody is good at. And a PhD person would be able to bring balance into the private sector. And by that, we meant when there's a debate between, profit and not-for-profit, biases with regards to when you're being sponsored in a particular project, as a PhD person, you're trained to make sure that the science or the research goal is unbiased, as compared to when you're just dealing with profitability and market expectations. And then lastly, mentoring and teaching skills. So a PhD person, again, may be a good person to carry or to transfer certain skills that they already know to other people on the team or junior people in the group. So that's also an added advantage. Don't know if my colleagues had anything to add.
It's perfect like that. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it was a perfect summary of what we discussed. Thank you.
So there are many strengths. I think there are not all your strengths, but we work on that later. Thank you. Maybe the third group can explain us what they thought about the difference between private research and academic research, if there are some differences according to them. Who wants to share?
Pratik, are you going to say anything or should I talk?
Alessandro, I guess you started to talk, so you can.
So
go.
I think one of the main differences that we discussed about is the goal of public and private research fields. Monetary gain is one of the main goals of private research. It's quite the opposite for academic research. Then we discussed about the freedom. Public research and private research have different freedom, let's say, degrees. Then the third point was the environment. So the environment in the public sector is more interdisciplinary. The private research sector is more like monothematic. And I think there was a fourth point, but I think Pratik wrote it down. Maybe it can come to my aid.
So my fourth point was to one of the difference between private research and the academic one is in academia, you get the opportunity to choose people with which you can work on. In industry, there is a fixed set of people. I mean, the junior, different hierarchy structure. But in academia, what I have observed that you can work with different people, you can collaborate with different areas of research. That's what I have felt. That also associated with the freedom of research, freedom of doing research, which is very limited in industry, I guess. In academia, what I felt like there is a lot of freedom to collaborate with different areas, theoretical physics, so forth and so on. I mean, there is huge number of opportunities there. And of course, Alessandro already highlighted in terms of environment. What we discuss is basically in industry there is a goal, and all of the team members work towards that goal. In academia, the environments can be a little bit relaxed. I mean, not always relaxed, but there is always you can trade off between the stressful environment and the relaxed environment. And monetary gain, of course, Alessandro highlighted that as the number one point, because the salary difference is one of the driver. That is why people are moving from academia to industry. So these are the 4 points we have discussed in our program. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. It was very interesting. We are going to hear the fourth group, and after we can, if you want, discuss about what you all said. Who wants to talk for the fourth group?
I'll go. So in our group, we thought that both private and academic research depend on literature review. So they need to understand the background of the research that they are doing, and they have to come up with resources depending on the review in their interested field. Secondly, we thought that both private and academic research go for practical results. In that aspect, they are both specific and quite concentrated on the theme that they'd like to explore. And the third and our final point was that perhaps what we call it as quantitative research in academic research in academia could be prevalent in private sector, obviously depending on the sector, but from very quantitative viewpoint, they both have aspects in common. So that will be it from us.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Is there any ideas about what has been said? So thank you all for all these ideas. It was very interesting, and I wanted you to do that work, to think about that, because what I've seen and what the recruiters say many times is that you can have some ideas about private sector which you don't know, but it's not already always true. Sorry, excuse me, someone is ringing and it's disturbing me. For example, you say you can be more relaxed in academic research, but I don't know. I have never met a relaxed PhD students. They're always a little bit stressed. So it's what I want to say. Excuse me for a second. Sorry for that. Yes, what I wanted to say is that you have some representations who might be who might keep you away from the idea of going there, but no, there is no PhD relaxed. You talked about freedom too. Yeah, there is more freedom in the way of working in maybe academic field. I don't know if you are very free. Of course, you can work the way you want, you can try something, but who tells you that you cannot do the same in the private sector, private industry? You talked about choosing people with you can work with, but you know, in a public in a private industry, well, you can choose people too, of course. And some people are recruited, some people are fired. You can build your own team. So what's important for you is to go above these representations. And maybe the first thing to do is to meet and to talk with people who actually work in a private sector, to understand what they are dealing with every day, what are their problems, what is easy for them, and maybe you will realize that what you're doing during your PhD, it's not so different. There are many things that can be the same. About the weaknesses and the strengths, I think the weaknesses you can identify may come once again from maybe not knowing very well how it works in companies. And once again, there are many companies in the world, and they are not working all the same. There are many ways of communicating, many ways of working, many ways of having goals and achieve them. So once again, what's important for you is to look more your strengths and to find the company that will fit with you, fit with what you want to do, fit with how you want to work. Because there are many companies. For example, if you are in a competitive company, I've been working in one like that. Everyone was we were in concurrency. We have to win more than the other. It was very. I don't like to work like that, so I changed. And since I've been working only in a cooperating field, it's very possible even in a private sector. So what I want to say is talk with people in different companies and make your own ID, your real ID, and not about representation and fields that are usually shared by most of PhD students. That's why I wanted you to do that small exercise. Was I clear? Do you have any question? Or something you want to say? Okay, if no, we can go to the next step.
Stephanie, you can share the PowerPoint because it's not working on mine. I will.
Okay. Okay.
And to finish on this subject, just to say that the private sector, there's a lot of different company with different goals, different values. So maybe you certainly will find the company that corresponds to you. They have not the same, values and they don't share the same things. They are all different, so you have to find the good one for you.
Okay, so I'm going to share the next step. Wait, just a second. Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
So we wanted to know, according to you, what is a skill? So what do you think a skill is? You can share in the chat directly, and after we'll have a more complete definition. But first, can you put in the chat your ideas, simple ideas of a skill is?
Just like few words to define a skill.
Oh, it can be a very simple definition. Don't bother to overthink about that.
Okay, so we have a first one definition.
That someone have skills or abilities. Yes, that's true.
Yes.
To goal or task.
So yeah, we have twice the word task. Result is a very important word too.
It's an ability that you acquired thanks to the experiences that you had. Okay, so you say that you can learn. You can. It's not something it's born with you.
Yeah.
Acquired thanks to the experience. Okay, carry out a task efficiently. A skill might be togetherness of practical ability and know how to address a process. Yes. And physical, social, technical, emotional ability to get a task done. Okay. So, okay. Thank you.
Very much. Yeah.
So,
Stéphanie, you want to say? Thank you very much for all this definition. And it's true, we can see that there is a lot of similarity between your definition, also capability that enables an individual to perform a particular task or activity effectively. Yes. There is a lot of definition for skill. It's a famous word. And so I give you one definition because it's a reference, but you have all other definition that you can find. This one is by Guthrie in the 1956. And he has defined the skill as the learned ability to bring about predetermined results with maximum certainty, often with the minimum outlay of time or energy or both. So we can find some similarities between yours definition and this definition. And a thing that is very important is that a skill is something you learn and you can eventually do constantly, or you can perform efficiently. Next, Stéphanie. Now we want to bring you the difference between hard and soft skills. The hard skills are usually obtained through hands-on experience or education. It refers to teachable skills or job-specific abilities that can be quantified or measured. And the soft skills are more related to personality characteristics that you have naturally developed throughout your life and experiences. So this one refers to an individual's social ability and how to interact with other people. For this workshop, we wanted to put the light on soft skills because in fact, in addition to the hard skills you will develop throughout your thesis, you will also be developing a lot of soft skills, and most of the time without realizing it. By identifying, promoting, and illustrating your main soft skills, you will stand out from the crowd and maximize your chance of being recruited. And for the recruiters, soft skills are most often the deciding factors, specifically in the private sector. So it's very, very important to identify your soft skills. Then, why it is so important to work on that? When you're looking for a job, your skills will be valued on many occasions. For example, where do you need to enhance your skills? On your application material. For example, your CV or your covering letter. Also during job interviews. Also during the exchange with the network, with your future employers, or on your LinkedIn. And then what should you do to enhance your skills? You have a very important idea is to adapt. Always adapt your skills. Adapt yourself to the needs of your interlocutor and adapt your soft skills and hard skills to, depending of the job, the offer, and also depending of the company. Also, you have to adapt your vocabulary and express the relevant skills in relation to the request. It's very, very important. And finally, why it is so important to work on your skills? Because you will have to identify your success or your failure, and you have to always think about why did you succeed or why did you fail? And then how did you manage to succeed or overcome your failure? And then the most important is to be able to reproduce, improve, or adapt your skills, and then transfer and transpose your skills into a new environment, a new context, or a new job. And always remember, we already said it, that you are not born competent, you become competent, different as a gift, and through your professional experience and also through extra professional experience. So you always have to think when you are thinking about the skills, you may have to think, you have to search in all your experience, in your hobby, passion, volunteering, student job, training, thesis, etc. So now we are going to make a new exercise. Normally you have received a document, a table, to work on this exercise. Did you receive this document with the invitation? Maybe you can show the is after, Stéphanie, the table is after. Sur le PowerPoint, tu as juste la diapo d'après pour leur montrer.
The document was sent. It was
Yes,
very
okay.
controlled, just...
Okay. So in this document, on this document, you have 4 categories of competency. Personal competencies in blue, competencies regarding activity and action in green, social communicative competencies in red, and then professional and methodological skills. So this is the 4 categories. And now you have to take this document and we will show you one after one different skills, competency, and you have to look at the color, okay, for the category, and you have to think if you have these skills or not. If you have these skills, you have to put on the right column on your table. And if you hesitate on a skill, put it anyway, because sometimes we are not sure, but put it anyway. It's not a problem. So Stéphanie, you want to add something? Maybe just to say that we will show you one after one skill during 7-10 seconds. So it's a quick exercise. Stéphanie, you want to say something more? We don't hear you.
Yes, if you're not sure you have that skills, you can put it anyway. You will think about it later. We have not a lot of. Important for you is to get the good vocabulary and to get the idea that maybe yes you have these skills. So put it anyway in your sheet and you'll think about it later. So I'm looking for, excuse me, I'm lost between all my documents. Up, I'm coming back. This one, okay. I've got a little problem. I don't know why. I'm going to shut that. Okay. Okay, can you see? No? Okay. Is it good now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm give you a few seconds for each competency. So think.
Oh, it's.
Teamwork.
Maybe the first one was very quick, but I don't know.
Write it. Okay, decision making. Problem solving skills. If you sometimes solve some problems.
Delegation. Conceptual strengths.
This one is how. Can understand it the way you want. It's not. Systematic and methodological. Innovation spirit. Great. Willingness to help. Result-oriented action. Responsibility. Teaching skills. ability to understand others. Liability. Being able to plan. If you think about other skills, if it gave you ideas, you can write on your sheet, or you can think later about it. I hope you find some skills that you have. We have a long list of soft skills, and we didn't everything because it would have been, but it was meant to give you some ideas and to say, yes, I have these skills, I have this one. So now we're going to go to the next part, because being aware of your skill is the first step. You have to be able, as I said at the beginning, to make people understand what your skills are, what you can do, what you are aware of. So we're going to tell you a method you can use, and you have to do it when you think about your skills. It's called the STAR method. So, and you have to think about your skill, and you have to think of a situation where you used this skill. Okay, maybe I can project management, for example, it was one of the skills. In which situation was I able of project management? After that, you have to describe the task. Okay, it was for the situation, maybe it was during the first year of my PhD when my my research director was away. The task I had to run, I don't know, an experience. So I was on my own. The action you made. So I made that. I called that people. I don't know what you did, but you have to explain the action, and to finish, you have to tell the results of all the situation. You have to think of a little story, you know. People don't like to hear the other talk about themselves for too long, so you have to tell a short story with facts, which is very precise. And when you will have told your story, people can have the good images in their hand. They will be able to picture you doing that. And if they picture you in their mind, they will think that you are really able to do that, that you have really these skills. Is that okay with you? So it's very important to describe each time. You can not just give a definition of the skills, it's useless, but really give a situation where you used it.
Yes, and always remember that your interlocutor doesn't know you. So he has to heard a complete story, to have all the elements and to represent you with these skills. And also, you have to appropriate your skills, use the word I think, Stéphanie, it's after. Yes.
Yes, it can be the situation was that, what was needed was that, what was done was that, or we did that with the team. No, we need to picture you, so you have to say I. And that's a difficult thing to do because we are not used to do that, because we are taught to be modest, to humble, so we are not used to do that. But in the professional field, it's very important to be able of using the I word, because there are differences between the one who can and the one who don't. And if you don't, you won't have maybe the position, you won't have maybe the raising of your salary. So it's important to be able to enhance what you have done, and you need to use the I word.
Yes.
Sometimes I hear some concerns about being saying too much I, and it could be boring or pretentious. But I think most of people are far from being pretentious with that. So try at first to find a story for some of your skills using I, and after, if it's too pretentious, you will see. Okay? Do you have any question about that? No questions? So we're going to give you a few minutes.
Seven
minutes.
Yes. 7 minutes to you have to choose 1 or 2 skills, and you have to think about a story with this method STAR, and then you will be splitted in a different small group to tell to the other. So 7 minutes. 7 minutes for individual work, and then
so choose a few, maybe 2 or 3 skills for beginning, and find the story you can tell about that. Of course, in a recruitment, you won't be asked like that, give me a skills. It's not like that, but if you have an example, you will be able to tell many stories, and you won't even have to say, I have these skills. The people will be convinced that you have this, just hearing your stories. So you have 7 minutes. Think about, choose some of your skills, think about your stories, and after you will try to talk about it. So 7 minutes.
So we will pass to the next exercise. Now we are going to divide you into several groups, and each of you is going to talk about 1 of your skills in front of the others. And at the end of each presentation, quickly the group must say what was good in this presentation, and also what was missing or not understood. We will give you 15 minutes for the total exercise, so you have to be quick. And Stéphanie, we are making 4 or 5 group, you think? Maybe small group, no? It's better, 5?
So there are 16 of them, so 5 it will.
5? Yeah.
You can do 5, and we'll go and see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, do you have before the exercise? Do you have question? It's okay for you? Okay, and then we will see in the big group if there is some volunteer to show us a skill and tell us a story. So now I'm going to make 5 groups, and you have like 15 minutes. Okay, so
maybe we can go to the groups too, and to listen to you, and to see what you can improve, if there is something to improve, of course.
just 2 minutes. 5, okay. Je crois que c'est bon. Non.
Non, c'est sûr.
Pourtant, il y en a qui ont bien démarré.
Milika, Simona, Sofia, Yashashri.
Il y en a un qui est dans la session tout seul. Dans la session 2, il est tout seul.
Enlève-le, puis mets-le dans la session 4.
Ouais. Déplacer vers session 4. OK.
Be too long, so that's why we choose to do for 1 hour and a half, but maybe we can reconsider it for the next time.
Yeah, we are so sorry.
I hope it was interesting. In my group, it was. Maybe someone, some of you, one of you, maybe we have time for one, want to share a story, a skill with how explain it, because it will be very helpful for the other, I think. If you heard a good one. If you're not, it's okay, because I understand.
Yeah.
I wish I could go in every group, but it was too short.
Yes.
What I want.
Yes.
Yes.
No, sorry. Just continue that. I will add an information after.
What I wanted to share with the other is the important is really to get the other people, the recruiter. It's an exercise very specific for the recruitment time. So that's why I insisted for you to say I. It's important to make the recruiter think is starting to know you, because what make us choose one candidate instead of another is at the end of the interview we say, oh yes, I could work with him, I could work with her. And I think I'm very convinced that we can have this feeling only if you share some part of your life, some part of how you work, how you react, how you interact with the other one. And I think the better way to do it is by telling small stories that happen to you. That's what I wanted to say. It could be, you can share a failure if you want. It doesn't have to be always a success, but if it's a failure, you don't describe all the failure, of course, but you just go on what you learned about that and what you will do next time. Don't describe all the failure. It's less, and it's not a good idea. But if you have some, and I think it happens for everyone, you can share it too.
Yes. Also, another information that we didn't tell you before is that you don't have to be too long, because when it's too long, the interlocutor don't listen to your speech. So you have to be, you have to find a short story. We say that normally it has to be like 1 or 1 minute and a half. Not more. Maybe sometime it's 2 minutes. It depends if it's during a network working, or maybe during an interview, job interview. But remember that you have to be synthetic, you have to be short, to be efficient, and to be listened very well with all the things. And always think that you will never be too much. Normally your self-esteem is most of the time very, very low. So you have to you trust yourself and valorize your experience, valorize your profile, and you will never be too much, really.
Okay, so we're going to the end. So we're going last part. We wanted to share you this tool.
Yes, I will share my yes.
Okay. So it's called My Dog Pro. It's a French tool. where there are many skills for a PhD. It's made especially for PhD, and Carole is going to share it. You can use it. You can register. You can fill it if you want, and it will give you ideas of skills.
Okay. Do you see my
Yes.
my sharing? Yes. So you are going to Google and type My Doc Pro. It's a tool, a skill portfolio that have been constructed for a PhD profile and to be adapted to private sector. So you can create your profile. It can be private or you can share with the other. So you have like main soft skills, core business, personal and relation qualities. Also, you have business management and value creation and strategy and leadership skills. And you have a lot of soft skills. And you have to read them. And then you have to choose one. And when you choose one, you have like 3 different levels for the beginners, and then the level 2 and the level 3 for the experts. And what is very interesting that you will find a lot of private vocabulary, and you don't have to think about because it's already done. And when you are choosing a level, then you will have to choose an example, an illustration, like the story and the method star, to prove that you have this skill. So then you will fill it for a lot of skills, and it's a very, very good tool. And it's an excellent tool for taking stock of your soft skills. And I'm working a lot with this tool. This is the French, sorry, this is the French version, but you have also, no, it's okay. No, it's okay. You have the French version, but you have the English version. So if you want to take a look at this tool, we can encourage you to go there. Okay. So now we are going at the end of this this workshop. Do you have some question? No, it's okay for you.
Great. So Virginia put in the chat a form, so if you can, it was our first workshop, so I hope you liked it and it was useful for you. So you can tell all you want in the form, and maybe it will help us to improve.
Yes.
We can take some questions if there are some.
Thank you, Caio. Thank you very much.
Maybe Virginia, you can send by email the form if they don't go on it already, because it will disappear.
Okay.
Okay, so thank you very much to everyone for your participation, and it was very great to talk with you. I wish we could have more time. Next time we it may be longer.
Yes, I think maybe the next time it will be 2 hours. Thank you very much for all of you. And yes.
Thank you, and see you soon, maybe.
Yes.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the appreciation.
Thank you very much. I don't know French, but I will say merci. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Thanks to you.